Hello and welcome. As you can see, I am in the middle of a hunt and I was too slow to get out of that one. And I just thought I'd record one of these just to show what they're like for, in case people haven't seen one before or wonder what they are like these days. So this is in the Shadowbringers zone. So this was actually the second one in this area. I didn't start recording until after the first one had already died. But you'll see the pattern anyway. So someone will call the location for the next one, and then we go there, kill the monster, kill the second one, next map, repeat. Now this is on a Tuesday. It's just after reset, so everyone's going to be wanting to refill their tombstones here. Ooh, wasn't paying attention, so when the map has finished loading, I can see where it was supposed to be. I'm a little bit cheeky actually. I normally let someone else teleport, just to save me, a few hundred gil every time. Never mind my balance is 47 million, that doesn't matter. I'm trying to save gil. Hopefully I can buy a house on this server when they are next expanding. So if I remember correctly, they said they were going to add an extra couple of wards, I think it was. But they haven't given a date for it yet. 47 million is more than plenty to get a small house. I do not have any ambitions to get a bigger than small house. If I get a small house, I'm happy. It's just going to be a personal house. It was one of the more painful things when I moved server. So currently I'm on Ragnarok, but this character was started on Lich. And different data center. If it was on the same data center, I might have kept and just, visited when necessary. But because I had to transfer servers, you have to sell your house. You can't take it with you. And outside of some very specific exceptions, you can't take it with you. And those exceptions did not apply in my case. It was just a routine transfer. Here I'm using Gunbreaker, so tank class, and you might think, I like DPS, why am I playing a tank class? That's because it's not too bad so far. But on these hunts, if it gets really busy, the boss disappears. Sometimes people have said if you turn down the number of players on screen, it can help. It doesn't. It just doesn't. So if that happens, you have to do one of two things. One, stand as close as you can to where you think the boss is. And secondly, if you still can't see it or there's any other problem, just spam an AoE and hope it hits something. And Gunbreaker has a very handy AoE. It's a circular AoE, so that makes it really easy. I really hate Warrior for that because Warrior has a line AoE in the rotation and it's just horrible. I don't like it. For this purpose. It might, I'm sure it's great if you know what you're doing in other uses. No disrespect to people who main Warrior. But I only use the tank for this content, and my only two level 80 tanks are Gunbreaker and Warrior, and I'll take Gunbreaker any day. If before that problem became more common, I would quite often go on my DPS anyway. Just go as Bard normally, unless I really feel like changing it to something else for the time. So just waiting for the next location to be called. while we're waiting, the mount I'm on at the moment, I've forgotten the name of it, but it should say there, the Megalotrugus. I'm not going to try saying that again twice. But it's the latest mount added to the Ishgard Restoration script exchange. So with all the recent crafting, it's I've got everything in the shop, I think now. Everything that's unique. I'm at a stage now where I just buy stuff to resell. I'm going to say in the AoE. That was the other reason for playing tank as well for this purpose, which is if you can't see what's happening, you're probably going to get hit at some point, and a tank does what it says on the tin. Even if you're sending a few AoEs, unless there's a special ability, it doesn't matter too much. This one, you see, I'm just not bothering to evade at all. Some of them I will. So the next monster on this map, I will evade. It's got like a 2/2 AoE. It's going to be at the top now that I started going that way. No, it isn't. It's a cave rave. It's still miles away though. Cave rave. Just let you enjoy the scenery while we fly there. I'm too far ahead of everyone else. It's quite interesting as well. Sometimes you look back and you just see this wave of player characters behind you, especially if they're on glowy mounts. Who needs Flight Simulator? I got this. Where's my map? Where's the entrance? Well, everyone else is caught up now. See what I mean? When you just see this like wall of people. Up or down? The only difficulty sometimes is it's a bit hard to see where people are. Or where I am even. Because there's so many people in the way. And there we are. Attack! Now that's the 2/2 attack I mentioned earlier. So it does 1/2, pulls, does the other half. So the first time it does it, just now, you got the telegraphs telling you what to do. The next time it does it, it only shows you the first one. So once you dodge the first one, you have to move and dodge the second one. But it won't tell you to do so. It will probably die before we see it. Okay, yeah, it's dead. So we don't get to see it today, but that usually ends up killing people as well, if people don't know that mechanic, or just forget, or whatever. Come on, give me a free teleport. They don't like people, what's the term? I think they call it pre-scouting. But this is quite a common spawn area, so I guess that person there just went to check it out, and because they're coming back I guess it's not there, but yeah, you get spawns in the area, unless it is there and they're just being nice and not hogging it. And that's the B rank. I think I still need to kill more B ranks on various maps to clear up my challenge. Is it challenge logs or achievements or something? Where is it? So that was an example. I did not see the boss until I was literally on top of it. So that's the sort of problems you can run into. This one should die pretty fast again. When we get to Kalusha, that's when it gets a bit interesting at times. Please die faster. I can't be bothered with the mechanics on that one. You have to run around in a circle to avoid the attack. So the danger noodle in Kalusha is when things get a bit hairy. Because if you can't see the boss, you can't see which direction it is facing in, and if you can't see that, you can't dodge the line attack it does. And bad things happen. This is always a bit of a guess if it's worth accepting a teleport or not, but in the time it takes you to reload there and fly, I don't think in that occasion it would have been time saving. And I also have to clear the teleport, because if I don't, I won't be able to get the next free teleport. Now this hunt monster isn't too bad. One button there. Okay. So it just disappeared. I'm not running after it because it's doing something called Sabotage 10 dance. There it is. And now it's doing the needle attack and run behind it. If you are stuck in a dance, being stuck in a dance in itself isn't too bad. But it also stuns you, and that is bad. Because it means you can't dodge the needle part. So again, run in, and he's dead anyway. And I didn't need to run in anyway because I got the gap closer, which I could have just used if I bothered. I didn't. Now this could be interesting, Lakeland. This is currently instant because they put the beast tribe there, I guess, and they expect a lot of people. I am in instance 3, I want to be in instance 1, so flip over the instances. So this should be the correct one. Something I noticed just before we started was, for whatever reason, I don't have materia on all my equipment, so I need to put some more in. I'll do it afterwards. For this type of content it doesn't really matter, but of course if you have that little bit of extra stats, you do that little bit of extra damage. You know, if it saves you 1% of the time, I'll take it. It's not critical, it's not going to make or break anything, but it adds up. I just realised I've got Azure Lane on my tablet as well in front of me. I don't know, was that picked up by the microphone at all? I'm going to have to check on the recording afterwards. But yeah, the music was going on, I just realised, all the time I've been talking. So I don't know if it's been picked up or not. It's not a problem as such. One feature, let's call it, of the instance area is people end up in the wrong one, and it can be difficult to get into the correct one if it's busy. I don't think it's too busy here today. You know, the boss has been mostly visible most of the time. It only occasionally disappears. I mean, on a really busy day, you just can't see anything. Look at all these people as I totally go the wrong way. I'm guessing it's there somewhere because that's where everyone's going. Which button do I click? That one. Yeah. So who do we have on this map? We have the horsey thing and we have the big round mouthy thing. I can't remember the names. Even after killing them so many times now, I can't remember the names. And even if I could, I'll probably say it wrong. Narifon, is that how you pronounce it? So that's the... Ooh, he's disappeared then. That's the big mouthy thing I was about to say. Right. So this one is not too challenging. The only annoying thing it can do is it does have a status attack, and if you get hit by that it's just annoying. But otherwise it doesn't really do an awful lot. Just melted there. So that was the mount view I was talking about earlier. One thing I do is, once you killed the first monster on the map, you know there's going to be a second one, usually, unless someone else has killed it first. And you know it's not going to be where you are, so you fly in the general direction of where you think it might be. And since the last one was right in the corner, I'm guessing it could be anywhere around here. I'm too high up now. There's the horsey. I'm too high up. So take that time to get down again. But yeah, using a gap closer there when I was not needing to use a gap closer. One extreme or the other. And that was stupid as well. You know, none of this matters too much for this gameplay as such. You know, with the party, I should get max rewards anyway. So what I did was, you get the ammo loading, and I did the combo to load one ammo, and then I pushed this button which grants you 2 charges, but you can only hold 2 charges max. So I lost one, basically. What I should have done was use that before I had the 2 charges and expend one before I finished the combo. Or just hold off a bit longer. So instance 2, where we get to do this all over again. Now, something I haven't learnt myself, but I'm sure there must be guides on it if you look hard enough. The monsters have certain spawn locations. So sometimes you can guess where they are, even if you don't know where they are. So I think a common one is somewhere down here, one is somewhere down here. We just had one there a moment ago. Sometimes there's one there. I think there's one on the top here before. One somewhere around there. We had one down there a moment ago. I think there's another one somewhere in that area as well. So even if you don't know which one it is, you sometimes make an intelligent guess based on where the train is at the moment when you move into an area. So we came into here, so the first one is going to be somewhere on this side. And it's straight in front of us. Okay. Again, pre-scouting is usually frowned upon, but sometimes people do that. Once they are in the zone, they start flying out to the possible locations and having a look. That does remind me, there is one danger about getting the free teleports, which is sometimes the person making the teleport picks the wrong point on the map. I don't think it's usually out of malice. I think it's a case of they're just overeager. They know which map we're going to next, and they pick one at random, and if it's the wrong one, it's the wrong one. It's annoying. Because once you get to the other map, it means that you have to re-teleport again, basically. And that just costs you a little bit of time. The other downside to getting the free teleports is it doesn't seem to be applicable today, but if it's too busy, once again, if you get into a zone early, you're more likely to get in than later, because I think the game throttles the number of people moving into an instance at a given time. So an early one is less likely to be blocked, but once it has hit some limit, you then go into a kind of a virtual queuing system, I guess. Not exactly. You have to keep retrying until you basically get an opening that lets you in. When I was saying earlier about which class to use, there's another benefit about tank. Well, I don't know how big a benefit it is. Your contribution seems to be weighted on various things, for example, how much damage you do. But for tanks, you also get weighted for how much aggro regenerate enmity, which kind of offsets their lower raw DPS than a actual DPS would have or should have if they were playing well. It's happened there. Someone teleported to one of the things, but they picked the wrong one. So now I'm back off the queue. Still moved in instantly, that's good. I also see in my chat I am Captain Poetics. Note to self, empty my Poetics, and these are getting quite full as well. Actually, everything's getting quite full. My nutsacks are overflowing. I need to empty my nutsacks. I don't think I actually need anything, but it is what it is. For this particular game, you know, I mentioned before, I consider Bard to be my main combat class. If combat is required, that is my class of choice, and I have the best gear I can realistically have. Not doing the savage raids. I think if I did those, then that would open up the door to slightly better gear, but for someone who doesn't do that content, I think I have near enough the best gear I could have anyway. I've got item level 500, the tombstone gear, apart from one piece which is 490, but that's all I can do. So basically any resources I get now I can use to upgrade gear on other classes, but I don't need to. I don't see a need to. I also have a lot of resources like this one I can use to buy, I forgot what they call it now, some sort of rain, underwater rain I think it was, that was it. And combined with some tickets you get for trading in some other gear which you can buy fairly cheaply, that lets you trade it in for level 490 crafted gear. It's called crafted gear, but it's not crafted anymore because it's exchanged up to the higher grade. But it's item level 490, and that's the stuff I'm using on my tank. So this is the green stuff is a 490. That's a 480. I could replace that with a 500, but it won't make a huge difference for what I use the tank for. Maybe I could do something for, I don't know, will I ever play Dragoon? Or would I ever play a caster? You know, I can upgrade the gear, but I don't need to upgrade the gear, that's the thing. It's just I'll do it because I can rather than I need to. That's not worth dodging. Why am I dodging? I'm not even bothering with cooldown as much as you might have noticed, or not. A tank is just strong enough to not really care about it. I mean, a healer might silently curse me underneath their breath, but it doesn't really make a difference. Right, do we get Danger Noodle here? Actually, if I've got time, I'm going to switch to Danger Noodle mount. Congested! I shouldn't have taken the time to try to change mount. Only 3 attempts, not too bad. So, do we have Danger Noodle? This is my blue Danger Noodle, and we might be fighting red Danger Noodle. I'm making up colours now, aren't I? What colour is it? Ultraviolet. Down a bit. I think this is not going to be Danger Noodle. Danger Noodle is probably the little goblin-y thing. No, it is Danger Noodle. See? Red Danger Noodle, blue Danger Noodle. This one's quite simple. Every time it uses an attack, you want to be on its side, basically. Because it does that, if you saw that. So I'm sure we see the next one. So there's the head. Move to the side. It does whatever the first attack is, and then it does the follow-up attack, and that's the one you want to avoid by being on the side. Which it didn't do. Maybe this one. If it lives long enough. Yep, no it is. So, is it the last one? I can't remember which maps we have or haven't been to now. So this is Little Murderer, I think. Which is like a little... I don't know what race it is. Goblin type thing. Please don't kill me, and then we kill him anyway. If I don't do it, someone else will. Will that stand up in court? You got a name like Little Murderer, you're not going to be innocent, are you? This is how I die. I'm not even going to dodge that. Yeah, he's dead before it even casted. And I think we are done. I'll end it here. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. How am I supposed to wave that camera? Anyway, bye.